Monica, welcome to Halloween Daily. Thanks so much for hanging out and talking to us
Hi.
today.
Thank you so much, Matt. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you virtually and to be talking to you. I've told you privately that we watch Trick or Treat every year, so I've seen you in our living room for like 16 years now at least, and we
Beautiful.
just got to see the film for the first time on the big screen in a theater for the first time. We've seen it so many times,
Oh,
and to see it on the big screen, it was just insane. Just a few days ago, as we're recording this, and it's already our favorite time of year. It's late October, so there's just no better time to be having this conversation and talking to you right now. As you can see, I'm a little excited for the occasion.
very timely. Yes, I love Sam is everywhere. He is everywhere.
It's
And so he
it's
should be. Gotta respect, right?
as it should be. That's right. That's right. As
That's
it
right.
should be. Um,
Can I ask you,
yes,
so you saw it in 4K. I haven't.
yes, yes.
I've seen it on the
It
big
was great.
screen like a few years ago, and
Hmm.
that was cool. I brought my folks, and I mean, they watched it in the comfort of,
Yeah,
our home, but like
just
yeah,
see
on
it.
the big screen is something else, right? But yeah, the
It
how was 4K?
it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I again, this was my first time seeing it on a big
Right.
screen, and so
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, there was just details that even watching it on the Blu-ray that I had never like really picked up on, or they were there,
Uh-huh.
but it was so much more noticeable. Just everything, like little names of poisons, certain poisons on the principal's um, counter, and just all kinds of just cool little stuff. So yeah, I thought it looked and sounded better than ever.
And our cinematographer Glenn McPherson, did you notice it was like on the bourbon or whiskey bottle of Craig's, it said McPherson, like whatever. Yeah, I thought that was cool. Little things like that, right?
Yeah. I love
Mhm.
little things like that. Yeah, and there's so many cool things
Gotta
because
love
it's
them.
such a created world in there. Um, but
Yeah.
but but
All
before we
because
get
of
to the
Mike. Yeah.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. But before we get to trick or treat and your career and everything, if it's all right,
Hmm.
let's do a little flashback to Halloween's past if we can, because we
Doo-doo-doo,
always try to
doo-doo-doo.
we always try to do just that. Just flashback
Cool.
and get a little bit of your personal origin story through your earliest memories of Halloween. And I understand you grew up and you live in Vancouver. What was Halloween like there? Did you
Yeah.
celebrate? And what is your earliest memory of just learning what Halloween is all about?
Well, yes, born and raised in Vancouver, BC. And I grew up in a co-op, so it was a very, very close-knit community and a ton of kids. So it was great. They were like my brothers and sisters, my siblings. So um, uh, so many, just it was so idyllic to grow up there, and especially Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I was a cat, a ghost. I was Winnie the Pooh. I was a Hawaiian dance. I mean, I did do Hawaiian dancing, so I
Mm-hmm.
just basically used the costumes from from my dance costumes, and it would be like my costume of the
Mm-hmm.
year. So you got to recycle. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, door to door, everyone in the building was super excited and involved, and we had like on the seventh floor of the building, we called it the lounge, and all the kids would gather after trick or treating. And I just remember one Halloween that really stood out was
Mm-hmm.
when where we premiered Ghostbusters, and it was a thrill. Yeah, product of the 80s and 90s. So I
Yeah.
mean, that was the, well, I guess, age appropriate kind of film. Still scary and exciting
Mm-hmm.
and entertaining. And I think we all had a blast. When I look back, it's like fond memories. And yeah, yeah, so many years like that. But that one
Yeah.
with Ghostbusters premiere was memorable. And I call it a premiere because we made it like, it was like, this is it. This is, yeah, big time.
And how cool that it was Ghostbusters, one of the biggest, like you said, kind of horror comedies of the time, and kind of a
Yeah,
sign of things to come down the road for you in a lot of ways. It sounds like too.
exactly. Yes, because what I love about Trick or Treat is like are those comedic elements as well. It's not
Hmm.
one note. It's
Yeah.
such a ride. It's such a with the four different storylines intertwined. It's just, well, unique for one thing. Um, and yeah, like Mike Doherty's baby and brainchild, uh, and and was for quite some time before we got into production. I mean, right, it started with Season's Greetings at
Hmm.
NYU, his time there, and yeah, what an honor to work with him and pleasure.
Yeah, it is definitely just a special modern classic movie, and everything just fell in line perfectly. Before we leave Halloween the holiday, we always try to ask, if we have the chance, your favorite Halloween costume that you've ever worn and your favorite Halloween candy or treat.
I mean, I love a potato chip, or in the UK, it's a crisp,
That's a
isn't
treat.
it? Um, so when someone would throw in a bag of chips, that was, yeah, I'm your
Hmm.
girl.
Yeah.
And then, well, the strawberry marshmallows, which that was pretty rare. Um, and well, who doesn't love a Kit Kat? I think.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you can't go
that's
wrong.
pretty much it. And my favorite costume, I mean, I don't I don't know if I have a favorite. I had so many costumes again because of dancing. I mean, I think it was like an A and W. Oh, I don't know if is that in the States or is it a Canadian thing?
Oh, and like
Do you have A and W?
the root beer.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was
Oh
like a
yeah.
bear from that, and
Oh yeah.
anyway, but this is harkening back to when I was a child again,
Yeah.
which I do think, like, I think it is all about the kids, and of course,
Hmm.
like the movie portrays, once you get into your 20s, as I mean, most
Hmm.
ladies like to do the sex, then it turns into the sexy costumes, which I
Yeah.
definitely did do. I think I was a pussycat, my version of a pussycat doll, you know,
Hmm.
and that was, I mean, I can't say it's my favorite costume, but there were many over time, and I can't think of one. I mean,
Those all sound like awesome ones. Those,
there's too many choices, and now
yeah.
you go to Spirit Halloween. I mean, growing up didn't have that, but yeah, you've got your options out there, which is great fun. It doesn't have to be um
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be just for Halloween. There's costumes for everything.
Well, that's us all day. Halloween daily. Every day is Halloween.
Halloween daily. Yep.
And you were talking about how you were dancing at such a young age, and I was
Yeah.
going to ask that, like, when did you know, or is there even a point that you could pinpoint that you decided or knew that you really just wanted to perform in general, and how did the dancing start, and when did that lead into the acting, and clearly, I mean, as you said, it sounds like there was a correlation to Halloween and getting excited around that. And we do these interviews
Mm,
all the time, and we see that a lot, that at a very young age, a lot of just creative performers and artists, it did kind of maybe start around just getting excited to play dress up in a way and play a character in a way,
totally.
just even just for Halloween.
Totally. Yeah. Great question. Yeah, it did start when I was really young. And yeah, putting on the costumes,
Hmm.
it's just a sense of play and imagination.
Yeah.
And well, my earliest memory of knowing I wanted to be an actor was,
Hmm.
I think it was, oh, honestly, fifth grade.
Hmm.
And I remember journaling, and I still have the journal, and I was writing about Sandra Bullock. She was my hero, and
Yeah.
I really looked up to her. It was, while you were sleeping, the net. She made me want to become an actor, and uh, yeah, so that's quite vivid.
Hmm.
The
That's awesome.
dancing, yeah, I started dancing when I was 3.5. My mom put me
Wow.
into the Hawaiian dancing, so that there's Maori, Tahitian, yeah, Hawaiian, tap, jazz, hip hop, ballet, flamenco, lyrical jazz, you name it. So my love of entertaining for audiences
Yeah.
started with the dancing, and then grew from there. And then yeah, with the acting, it just was like, from as long as I can remember, I wanted to. Didn't know how to start,
Hmm.
but luckily Vancouver is such a it's a big hub. It's
Yeah.
Hollywood North. That's what
Hmm.
yeah. And luckily, that's where I was uh, made, born, and raised. Yeah, it
Where
wasn't
you were
like I was
made, born, raised. Yeah.
all right. Yeah, all of the above. I didn't have to travel to start the career, you know.
Yeah, it kind of came to you in a way. It sounds like, at least being in the area, and I love that being inspired by Sandra Bullock and wanting to kind of follow that,
Love her.
and so then you do get into the business, and this wasn't your first project, but let's fast forward a little bit to Trick or Treat and to what you remember of the casting process of getting cast as Janet, and just what your thoughts at the time were, because obviously nobody making this movie knew or could have would have even predicted, I don't think, the following it would get and what an annual tradition it would get for so many people. So how did it first come to you, and what was the casting process like?
Well, like any audition, we're sent one scene, two scenes, three scenes. They're called
Mm-hmm.
sides, and I received this. And yes, it's about Halloween. I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, it said Janet was Janet was Snow White, and then so she later turned into Little Bo Peep, which worked great because I had the ridiculous staff and the flask attached, and it just worked because Janet was in her own world, let's just say, a bit of a mess. So it worked. And so, yeah, received the sides. I taped it in a session with our casting director, Stuart Akins
Mm-hmm.
and Sean Cossey. And then they brought me back. And then I met Mike. And then I read for Mike
Mm-hmm.
in person. And it was so much fun right off the bat to work with him, and he had me just have fun, ad lib, improvise. It was actually what the scene in the parade where Janet and Maria are looking for potential dates
Yeah.
for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that was an interesting process. And then it wasn't, maybe it was like a month or so after meeting Mike, I found out that I was cast. So, oh, happy day. It was good. It was a
So
good
so
day.
you get cast, and when did you learn that, like the big reveal that Janet, because at that time, did you know that you guys were basically werewolves and that the whole setup is going to lead to this epic reveal
No, we didn't
that
know
came
until we
after?
received the script. Yeah,
Hmm.
like there was had no idea about the werewolf transformation,
Yeah.
which I think was what a fun twist, what a surprise, what a
Yeah.
you think things are one way, the stereotypical 20 something year old girl, gals in their sexy costumes looking for dates, and then bam. So yeah, I really do feel like Mike was ahead of his time.
And
It was empowering for us ladies,
yeah.
and then also having our cross cultural, like we came from different backgrounds
That's
as human beings, and he mixed us together. And I think it created well, just a fun dynamic, really. Yeah.
and one of the most fun things to me, and one of the parts I love most about that first scene with you guys in the costume shop when we meet
Yeah.
all of your characters, is everything you're talking about. I love the rewatchability of Trick or Treat in general, because I could
Mm.
rewatch it, as I've said, a million times, and I always find new things. But I love that after you've seen it, you guys are basically laying out the whole reveal right there in that first scene with everything you're talking about. It's just you don't know until you've watched it a first time, and then it just makes it so much funnier and so much more entertaining every time I watch it and see that go
No,
back
that's
to it.
good.
Now, was that the first scene that you filmed? And was that when you first met your co-stars?
I mean, it's been a moment, but hmm, I I don't think that was the first scene that we shot.
Okay.
You know what, the intro, and it's very quick, so it's one of those things, maybe when you
Hmm.
watch it the second time, where you see it's the opening where you see all the characters
Yes.
like
Yes.
weaving. It's so like
Hmm.
beautifully done, which I just, it's only like when you look back on it and when I see it, I'm just like, man, that's really cool. Like, so you see us walking past each other with other, like,
Hmm.
Tomo and Leslie, but and then you've got the kids, and then and then it's just, I think that might have been one of the first shots. But yeah, it's been a moment. So I don't remember. I can't remember which one. I really don't think it was the costume shop scene, but that was a fun one to shoot. Yeah. And
What
Quinn, I just felt bad. I'm like, oh gosh, poor Quinn. He was so young and he's peeking through, but he was adorable and well, wise beyond his years, to say the least, and very professional. Very professional.
Oh
In
yeah,
awe.
we've met him, and I've gotten to talk to him a little bit, and yeah, our impression is the same thing, just so cool and professional, and but I love that too, that it's Quinn, who also plays Sam, of course, and but
Yeah.
our first shot of him unmasked is actually Quinn playing the peeping Tommy, and I yeah, that's just such a funny moment in the movie, and kind of a if you know you know type thing. Again, the rewatchability of it all. But that scene you talked about, that opening scene, that was
Mhm.
probably, I guess, I'm just thinking about it now, but I guess that was probably the only time that you were around many of the other cast members from any of the other um, segments.
Yeah, pretty much. Dylan Baker, well, we got to
Hmm.
work with him, which was
Well, yeah,
amazing. How lovely is he? Have you been able to? Not
I,
yet. Have you
I've
interviewed him?
not yet. I'd love to.
And he's so good. He's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that there was that. But then Brian Cox, Sir Brian Cox, I like to say, yeah, met him. He was in his full like John Carpenter mode. So it's like I mean, I wish I worked with him. Maybe, I mean, one day, you never know, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, he was literally like standing on the steps of uh Mr. Craig's uh home. Well, we were shooting inside a studio, North Shore Studios
Mhm.
in North Vancouver, because uh, everything was canceled. We were set to film in Stanley Park. It's all forest. It's like at the edge of downtown Vancouver,
Oh, okay.
and it was like emergency. Hello, 911, 10, 10-4, 10-4. I don't know how production did it, but they recreated this forest inside of North Shore Studios. And so, I mean, it was incredible. And so it also saved our butts because we weren't wearing too much in the film. So
Yeah.
yeah, thankful for that switch up, even though it must have been scary, or like, for production again to scramble in time.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure it must have been, but they, like you said, they totally pulled it off. And then when you watch it, it's
Mm.
like everything's meant to be in a way, because it having that extra control over the environment, it almost
Yeah.
probably helped, visually ultimately, and what we ultimately see in there. But yeah, the fact that they had to scramble and do it so quick, and that wasn't part of the original plan. Um,
Not at all. Yeah. Yeah.
what else can you tell us about filming the transformation scene, and you guys? I know there were werewolf animatronics there,
Yeah.
and was that wild, getting to see like the animatronic version of what you guys were actually becoming?
It was like I was in. I said we were in the trailer, makeup and hair, and I was looking over at the werewolf version of Janet
Yeah.
and like the Cinderella, and
Hmm.
we because they had the costume sort of half on as it's getting like torn off, and like,
Right.
and so seeing that version of other actors or stunt performers in the regalia,
Hmm.
in the chairs next to us, and then seeing the animatronic versions inside the studio set up. Um, uh, this whole world again. We come back to Mike Doherty and
Hmm.
it being his brainchild. I mean, genius, genius. Uh, it was really exciting, and so yeah, those oh, we had to wear these contacts. Like I've worn contacts before for
Hmm.
films. I've been vampire a couple times.
Hmm.
So I've worn various ones, but I think these ones were like the biggest ones. Like it just you it there's no not being aware, hyper aware that they're in your eyeball. But yeah, I mean, easy enough to work with. And then of course we were fitted for fangs, and then we had just everything was so planned out. Then we had these long hair extensions that we like sort of pull back and get to use within the transformation sequence.
Hmm.
And we actually, Sweet Dreams was not playing in the background. We did have something to be able to dance to that we were listening to on this like
Nice.
on the system. It was Fever by Peggy Lee.
Ah,
Classic.
yeah, that's awesome.
Dum, dum. And
Very
and
cool.
I just recall Mike on a headset or like a microphone, and all of a sudden in the midst of of shooting, and
Hmm.
the music is up loud, and we're all like, and Monica, less dancing and more animalistic, more monster, more, because of my dance background. I think I
Hmm.
was more like flowy, like jazz
Sure.
hands, and yeah. So I had to be corrected a couple times, but I was just giggling to myself. Yeah, I'm like, of course. I'm like, I got it. Okay. Anyway, hopefully I got it in the end. But it was so much fun. We had so much fun. By the end of filming, it was all day.
Hmm.
And then we had some pickups, I think, but it was all day. You know, when we were done, I think, you know, with Lauren, Anna, and Rochelle, we just kind of looked at each other going, what did we just do? Like it was insane,
Yeah.
insane. Yeah, but
Well,
fun.
it was such an awesome moment in the movie, and you mentioned earlier about how Michael, with your story in particular, the werewolf story, the surprise party story in particular, he was so ahead of the game as far as just playing with the audience and this traditional idea of these party girls and that Anna's about to get preyed on, but she's not the prey, and none of you guys are the prey. You guys are the predators.
Little did you know. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, what was the question about?
Well, I was just going to say, can you remark again on
Mhm.
how Michael was ahead of the curve in that in so many ways, and in the fact that you guys are there, and then it's just not just stripping off clothes, but stripping off skin and becoming, like we said, the predators in
Exactly.
this equation.
Well, he just one upped every like I think I don't think it's been done
Yeah,
like not like that.
yeah.
And again, what the twist, the turnaround, the haha, got ya, was is delicious, isn't it? Like it was for us. Um, and I appreciate it even more now than I did at the time, you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
because again, that's empowering, um, and scary all at the same time. But what a great example of, well, yeah, he was ahead of his time, um,
Yeah.
in many ways, you know, not just for that.
And did you get to hang out with your co-stars much when you weren't filming? Anna and Lauren and Rochelle.
We did a few times. We had a hoot. I really appreciated Anna's. She's very grounded,
Hmm.
obviously very talented, and just she has like a wicked sense of humor. So I much appreciated that. Lauren and I, well, we laugh all the time, probably laughing about nothing. Just we're always quick to giggle, and we had a lot, we shared a lot of laughter together. And Rochelle is very sweet, and she was also um like just very centered, very professional and grounding, and very sweet.
Yeah.
So we all are very different characters, um, as human beings, just
Hmm.
very different backgrounds, and
Hmm.
but we came together to create this dynamic on screen, and we did off screen as well. So yeah, we did hang out a few times, and it was quite a bonding experience. I have mad respect for each one of them. They're all very talented, and I just was, you know, yeah, uh, dealt a pretty lucky card to not only have worked with them, but what a cast and crew in its entirety. Just so many people at the top of their game. Um, yeah.
And I do feel like it's one of those movies when they talk about like lightning in a bottle. It was just everything had to happen in just a certain way. The cast had to be just right, and everything had to. It was just the right time, and yet it didn't get a big wide theatrical release, and it was a couple years later actually when I finally saw it in 2009 when it came out in DVD, and that's when most
Right.
of us in the public finally started to get to see it. It did play some festivals and it played some screens, but it didn't get a huge wide release. When though was the first time you saw the final finished film, and what was your reaction at the time seeing it?
Oh, I saw it premiered at Screamfest
Okay.
in Hollywood at the Men's Chinese Theater there, and so that was my very first time. Uh, I was really it was thrilling to see how the audience reacted to the werewolf transformation. I didn't know it was gonna, and then I wondered, okay, because that was my first time seeing it. I'm like, I wonder how, because the audience at premieres it's never the same
Right.
reaction as like they're kind of more on your side than just
Yeah.
like a typical your average audience in a movie theater. So I was thinking to myself, well, I wonder how, the average audience is going to react, well, to the movie in general and to that particular scene, because it seemed to get people excited. Like I think there was, yeah, people were clapping.
Hmm.
So that was just a thrill. And I was sitting near Rochelle and Lauren, and yeah, it was fun. That was my first time, and then I've seen it a few times. It's on the television a
Hmm.
lot, and I have it, of course, on DVD. Um, and I didn't get to see it in 4K this year. Did you? So yeah, and then so, but I did see it when it came out a couple years ago. Yeah, and I saw it with my folks. But that first time was Screamfest. Yeah.
And did you I mean, when did you realize that it had started to grow this following? Because again, it wasn't a box office hit. It wasn't like an instant thing that all of a sudden it's a huge hit, and then it's just been this steady growth though, and it started when it was released on DVD, and then I can even trace it back to I don't know the exact year, but when Spirit Halloween started selling the first Sam merch, and then it's just every year there's been more and more. When did you realize that this was going on, and that people like me and many others were watching this movie every single October, and every October it
Right.
was getting discovered by more and more people?
Yeah. Uh,
I mean, Spirit
well,
Halloween has a
for
whole section devoted
I
to it
know.
now.
That's incredible. Yeah. Uh, well, to start with the non-theatrical release, it was,
Hmm.
of course, a disappointment for everyone involved.
Yeah.
And it was for a few silly reasons. I just, probably I'm not even privy to some of the reasons, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was set to be that big theatrical release, but it was meant not to be that, and it was meant to be what it is now. And I just never, I just could never have dreamt up that it would be this and carry this energy and
Hmm.
tradition. And uh, I'm moved by it. I'm really like it. It warms my heart. I think it's exciting. It's lovely. I'm so thankful to the fans of Trick or Treat. I'm thankful for the lovely messages that anyone sends me on, social media. I
Hmm.
love I love being tagged with people in costumes.
Oh yeah.
Some people do it up like to a T. I don't
Hmm.
understand how they do it. It's creative people, super creative people out there. who have a love of Halloween. And
Hmm.
um yeah, the cost, so Spirit Halloween. So when did that start? When you all of a sudden I was like, Sam this, Sam that. Okay, all right. I see
Hmm.
what you're doing. And then it's like 5 years later, it's like the whole section. Wait, hold on. Like there's a Spirit Halloween, close to where I am. And I was there the other day, and it's just it's a huge section. And then there's like Sam's sort of, he's like hidden in, not hidden, but he's just like, everywhere you go in the store, there's like, he pops up. It's not just one section. So,
Yeah.
I mean, to see that grow within the Spirit Halloween, also to see the sort of horror Halloween mazes and
Oh
experiences,
yeah,
like
yeah.
at Universal Studios,
Hmm.
Six Flags,
Yep.
Orlando, Universal Orlando.
Hmm.
I think they all had trick or treat experiences.
Yep.
And I've only seen it. God, I would love to go in person, but I'm a scaredy cat, for like you know, haunted how homes and those
Hmm.
kinds of thrill
Hmm.
experiences. But I would like to go, to do that one day. I hope they do it again. But so seeing that and seeing like other performers in our costumes, and
Yeah.
the detail that has been, made to be so close to what was made for the actual film, to see that being recreated in the way that it has, and
Hmm.
people doing. I mean, I just um it's fun. I don't know. I have no words. It's really just uh it's really nice. Yeah.
Well, and it is, one of those movies I'm we're talking about that, I watch every year, and we passed it on to my son who's 18 now, and now he loves it. And it'll be one of those
Oh,
things, just like how Christmas movies get handed down through generations and it becomes tradition. And I mean, it's I feel like it's not going anywhere, and it's only going to just keep growing. And the other thing with that release, it was so unfortunate that it didn't get a wide theatrical, but like you said, everything's meant to be, because it kind of made it even more mythological. Like just being
mm.
a horror fan, we kind of knew it existed because of the early festival screenings, and the early trailer that was out. And it was like, for years it was just this thing that we knew was out there, but we couldn't watch it yet. And then when it finally did come out, so, and I
Element of mystery and ooh.
yes, yes, I
There's a certain je ne sais that yeah, like an energy about it
hmm
that, again, I know it's like meant to be, that's cliche, but the its journey
yeah.
was meant to be what it is. And I feel like that made it bigger. uh, I mean, who can say the movies that came out the year that we were supposed to debut, which was what, two, I don't know what year now, but like, I are those movies being played in movie theaters today, right?
Yeah, right,
Is there, I don't know. I don't know if we can say that. So, I mean, Rocky Horror Picture Show, right?
right.
If we can follow in those steps, that's cool. Albeit
Yeah.
very different kinds of films, but like, there's that sense of play again, and fun,
Yeah.
and tradition, and people getting to experience it together, like rejoicing and gathering and celebrating Halloween, which is what Mike Doherty is all about. I
Hmm.
mean, he was born on October 28th, and yeah, like his passion for Halloween, his love, obviously comes through in the film.
Yes.
It's his dedication. It's like a love song for Halloween, surely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I never thought about it. But yeah, a love song for Halloween. It really is, in so many ways. And I guess
Hmm.
that's, I was gonna ask if you had a take or thoughts on what the appeal is for people like me, for so many people that find it. And again, I feel it only grows each year with more people that discover it. And in a way, that's kind of
That's
maybe
really nice.
cooler than it hitting one big time. It's kind of cool because it's just steadily more people, and you must feel it just through, like you said, getting tagged on social media or sent
Yeah.
messages, I imagine.
Yeah, a lot. And then and it's all really positive and beautiful. So again, thank you to whoever's reached out. Um, yeah, the fact that you keep watching it, I'm like, I think that's so cool, and that you see something different, each time, or realize something you never noticed before. Uh, I don't know if I answered the question.
I I think you did. I
It
think
was
I
like
was
a double
more.
whammy.
Yeah, I think you did. I was probably
Don't
more just
know.
commenting on your previous answer, but
Oh,
but yeah, I mean, it is just
oh, right.
you know
I know now. It's like, what is it that maybe has people coming back for
yes,
more, really?
if you have
I
a take
think
on the appeal, yes,
I do think it's because it's not just one note.
yeah,
It is so many feelings. It's so many genres within one.
right,
And again, the comedic elements
hmm
always lighten things up and gives that sense of play again and fun and laughter. And I think that might be a key element.
hmm
It is for me. Like
yeah.
I always try to find the sense of humor in projects, that sort of, anyway. Even with dark things, for in like, just to, spice it up. I don't know. I
No,
lean
I
towards comedy.
well, I think that's a great point because it is very funny and humor is a big part of it. And even though it is an R-rated movie and it does, have actual death and kills and all
There's death.
that, it
There's
delivers
blood.
all of the goods there, but it does do it in a way that I think is just perfectly Halloween, where it's just dark enough, maybe a little too dark for a few people, but still it's in a playful trickster type way, which to me
Yeah.
again is Halloween very much. Um, and
Yeah.
and you know, like I keep saying, I mean, it's going to be around for generations, and it's already got this legacy. I think it's going to only keep growing. I mean, there's Sam costumes out. There's other characters now. I think before long, well, you guys costumes already exist, I guess, as
Yeah.
the existing costumes.
That's the
So,
thing.
but it's not going anywhere. So have you thought about that, or what do you feel when you think about the fact that, yeah, I mean, 10 years from now we could be having this conversation on yet another anniversary, on the 25th anniversary of the film, or the 30th, and there could be cast reunions, in you know at some of these
That would be nice.
anniversaries.
That would be lovely. I think to have everyone back together, I can
Yeah.
see that happening for sure. Yeah. Um, and trick or treat too, if we dare say. Um, you know,
Mhm.
I'd look forward to seeing how it all unfolds. Um, I would. I'm also curious. I wonder if they're ever going to make, at like for Spirit Halloween, how Janet has that flask rigged
Yeah,
onto the staff.
yeah.
That See, that's not in stores yet. You've got Little Bo Peep, you've got the Snow
There's a
White, you've
lot
got
of
Cinderella, or you could just make it yourself. But I'm not that inventive. Our props master, Kurt Brunn, was like, I mean, that's genius. That was his idea to,
that's so.
Janet always had to, and I actually, like, I realized I should have put like something in there, like water. I was just sipping air. I was going, I didn't even put anything in there. Hello? I mean, at least electrolytes or something. Um, yeah, but yeah, that was a fun piece that he
that
created.
That is so funny that you said that, because you're absolutely right. There are so many things like that are unique to the film, and that would be a great accessory for the Janet costume. Yes, I mean, yeah, you can get your standard Bo Peep costume and go with that if you
Yeah,
want, but yeah, it's not going to come with Janet's special
with the
flask. Right?
flask, with
Yeah,
that cotton candy pink flask. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, it's, I mean, iconic, and yeah, your cosplayers out there, yeah, they're certainly including that in their costumes. That's going to be a key in theirs, and I know you see them out there.
Wow.
I think that's only going to grow, and you're definitely a big part of that legacy. Um,
Well, thanks, Matt.
you
Thank you.
mentioned the sequel, and of course, there's been Michael
Yeah.
has teased a sequel for years now, and we're all anxiously awaiting. And I think it's probably a given that it's inevitable to happen at some point. It's just a matter of when. Is it going to be sooner or later? And there's so many ways he could go. I mean, it could conceivably be a whole other cast and whole other unconnected stories, or there's a lot of characters in the original that did survive and could easily be brought back,
Yeah.
and we could
Yeah.
catch up with them. So, what are your hopes and thoughts on the inevitable sequel? And if asked, would you be down to reprise Janet?
Well, Janet would be there in a heartbeat. She would be there in a heartbeat. And I, of course, I would jump at the chance to be collaborative and work with these individuals and new people. I don't know. Yeah, that's a no-brainer for me. The answer is yes, Matt.
Awesome.
And I look forward to it too.
Awesome.
We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know anything. They don't tell me anything.
Do you
So
do you have any thoughts or predictions or where Janet and the other girls could be at this point? It'd be 15, maybe 20 years later or something.
the sun is coming out too. Isn't that interesting? In 20, I think I'd like to think they've had some offspring by this
Mm-hmm.
point, and who knows? Maybe they have, maybe they're raising some,
Yeah.
a new generation of werewolves. Who knows?
Yes.
Who knows? Um, I'd be
That could,
into that, seeing that. I don't know. There's so many possibilities, honestly.
that could
Yeah.
really be really cool, like you said. The offspring and you guys
Trick or treat.
all and yeah, I mean that. Okay, Michael, there's keep let's do this. Let's make
I
it
should be in
happen.
the
Let's make
writer's
the
room.
sequel happen. That's right. Let's make it happen. We're speaking it out now, so that's gonna help make it happen. Yeah,
Out
trick or
into the
treat too.
ether.
Yes,
Yeah, baby. Let's do this.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, we're here for it. Whenever it does
That's
happen.
awesome. That's
But
really
for
great.
now, I'm fine with rewatching the original over and over. Like I said, it
Yay.
never gets old to me.
That's great.
Now, what are some other current or upcoming projects? I know you've done a lot of different genres since Trick or Treat and different
Yep.
mediums, and you're an artist in so many different areas. What are some current or upcoming projects that you can tell us about?
Well, I've been doing a lot of voiceover,
Mm-hmm.
which in animation, video games. I Yeah, film and television projects. I've got things are a happening, and I've also another incarnation, another part of me is
Mm-hmm.
singing as well and songwriting,
Yeah.
and I've written for other artists, movies. I'd like to do I'd like to do a lot more of all of the above, and especially the music aspect. I need to revisit that, but a lot of the times the opportunities have come sort of in a really organic kind of way. And so,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd like to do Broadway one day.
Yeah.
And why am I whispering? It's like, no, no, speak it to the
Yeah,
universe.
that's right. Speak it out. That's right.
Yeah, like Chicago. Like I remember doing this duo number with my dear friend Shannon, and we did all that jazz, with the chairs and
Yeah.
the fishnets, and
Oh, I
um,
love it.
so I have that in me, and she
Mm-hmm.
needs to come out.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I mean, there's always lag time when you film something. There's a lag time, and I can't post.
Mm-hmm.
The best place to I guess find out what the heck I'm doing is probably just, on the old social media
Mm-hmm.
when I'm allowed to post. But yeah, I'm excited about what's happening now, and this next chapter that I'm in currently. So we'll see.
Very cool. Well, we'll be excitedly following along and waiting for more news and updates. And yeah, can't wait for all of
That's very
that.
kind.
Yeah, we are here to support, and
Thanks,
I'm
Matt.
I'm I'm sure this won't even be our last conversation about Sam and Trick or Treat and Janet.
I
We'll
hope not.
yeah, we'll
No.
be doing this again for sure, because again, I could talk about this movie forever, and there's so
I
much.
love your passion. I love your, I mean, it's so genuine. I
Yeah,
feel that.
I love all things Halloween, and I
Mm,
see all movies that are set on Halloween, and I love them all. But yeah, I mean, there's something unique, and just like I said, a lightning in the bottle quality with this one, and it's just so well put together. And like I said, you're a big part of that. You've been in our living room ever since it came out on DVD every year, and so yeah, this has just been awesome, hanging out and having this
for
conversation with
me
you.
too.
Now, now,
Can I ask you
sure.
what your top three horror films are? Am I
Top
allowed to
three.
ask? Yeah.
Wow. Um. Well, Trick or Treat gotta
No,
be up.
I was gonna
That
say
that
outside of Trick or Treat, but
that.
really,
Okay.
okay.
Well,
Yeah.
that's gotta be one. Now, if we're saying other
Okay.
than, I mean, the other top three. If I let's see, John Carpenter's Halloween would have to be one.
Mm-hmm.
The original Psycho, and
Oh,
and then it gets so hard because I want to say Night of the Living Dead, but then there's The Shining and The
I
Exorcist, and
The
you know,
Shining, I could not get through. Yeah, I couldn't get
so
through.
so yeah,
Oh,
it's all of those one of those. But yeah, I mean, I like the masters, the classics, the
yeah.
the the, the originals, and Trick or Treat, and because that's why I say it's like it's a modern
Yeah.
classic. It's going to be remembered, I think, in the way that we remember and celebrate a lot of those milestone
Mm,
classics. And
mm,
and like I
hmm.
said, I watch pretty much every horror movie, but definitely
Yes.
any that are set or take place even partly on Halloween. And I you can do the statistics, and if you add up every movie that has like a Halloween scene, even before Trick or Treat, it doesn't even come close to how many have come after Trick or Treat. It's like this subgenre of Halloween
Mm,
movies, it has exploded right along with the film exploding over these last 15, 16 years as we're recording this.
long time. Yeah,
It's been wild, and you could go to
it is.
IMDb and Google and search and look, and I'm not making it up. It's crazy how many have come out, and it's something else that you have to attribute, at least in some part, to that film.
Wow. Well, isn't that nice? It's a ripple effect of sorts.
It is
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you would know because you've seen every film.
We've seen every one. That's right. Every
Wow.
single one of them. Now,
Incredible. Yeah.
before we let you go, and like I
Sure.
said, as we're recording this, we're a little just over a week before Halloween, and this will premiere just right around Halloween. So, do you and
Yay.
your family have plans for this year's Halloween?
Oh, well, again, I bought the candy for the kids and um I've got a Uhura costume, Star Trek.
Oh,
I've got
nice.
like it's in the plastic right now. I have not opened it, so I might put that on. I'm definitely handing out candy.
Yeah, gotta follow the
Excuse
rules.
me. Excuse me. Hand out
Mhm.
treats, people.
Yes,
Do not forget that. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Public
So
service
I'll be doing
announcement.
that. Uh-huh. I'll be doing that, and that's pretty much it. Always hand out candy,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
no, like no big parties. But if anyone has a party that they like, you know, like please send me an invite.
yeah.
That'd be nice.
There you go.
Hello.
There you go. I'm sure you'll be
How
flooded with
sad was
with
that?
invites now. Yeah. Now all the entire comments section is going to be flooding
I had
flooding
to.
with
Uh,
addresses and invitations. Um,
well, not
yeah,
too many parties here in Vancouver. You know, I don't know. Probably private house parties, right? I don't know.
yeah.
But
There you go.
what are you doing? Do you have any
Well,
plans?
Well, we always go out trick or treating at whatever age we are, you know. So because there's this
I love that.
neighborhood where we go, it's not so much on our street, unfortunately, even though we have like the most decorated house on our street and we're totally ready for trick or
That's
treaters. But we usually
amazing.
have to go a few streets over, and it's just like the whole town goes there and goes wild, and just everybody walks around, and parents and whatever, they're just hanging out, walking around, and the kids are trick or treating. And so, yeah, I'll usually rock a Michael
Amazing.
Myers or a Sam or something,
So
and
creepy.
go and
Do you do Sam?
stalk the trick or treaters.
Wow.
The best was
That's
when my
scary.
son
That's
did
scary, Matt.
Sam.
You just, oh, your
The best
son
was
did
when we
Sam. Yeah.
had Michael Myers and my son was Sam one year. That was the ultimate. We had them both.
Was he little when he was
Yeah, he was
Sam?
exactly like the right
Oh,
age. Yeah,
that's so cute. I
yeah,
love that.
yeah.
That's
It was awesome.
awesome.
I'll find
Wow.
some photos and
Send
tag
me a
you on
picture.
Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll send you some for sure.
That's pretty great. Wow. The whole
So,
family's involved, eh? Yeah,
oh yeah, we
I
all
like
get
it.
into it. Yeah, we filmed little family, home movies over the years. Especially when he was younger. He's 18 now, so now
Yeah.
he doesn't get into that part of it as much. That much hanging out with his parents right now, but
No,
but in the early
not
years,
now.
oh yeah, we would do all kinds of whatever he wanted to be that Halloween. We just make a backyard movie about it with some kind of horror
That
edge, of course.
that's so special. Yeah, and he will not forget. Like I said,
Yeah,
those early childhood fond
right.
memories, mm, you don't forget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Halloween is for all ages, like you said.
That's right. That's right. Never too old to trick or treat, and always got to follow the
Never
rules,
too old.
however, whatever age you are.
Well, if anything, I garnered a massive respect for Halloween
Yeah,
because of Mike Doherty. And yeah, ever since filming Trick or Treat, it's changed my whole outlook and perspective, and yeah, sense of fun again. I've said that a million times in this interview, but yeah,
well, does that sum it up, or how would you sum it up of just what Halloween today, having been a part of this film that now, like you said, it's on TV all the time, it's streaming everywhere all the time, and Sam's everywhere every Halloween season, and you've been celebrating since you were a kid. What does it all mean to you today?
it's an honor to be even thought of or in any kind of respect, and part of like just part of the whole, just part of Halloween. Like
Yeah,
I think it's an honor. It's um to be a little piece of whatever. It's but yeah, it's an honor, and I do want to thank, well, you, Matt, for this really fun, lovely interview, and for your
absolutely.
kindness, and to just all the fans of Trick or Treat, and for going out to the theaters, for wearing the costumes, buying the merch. Oh, I also want to mention, I just thought of Douglas
Mhm.
Pipes. He did the score.
Oh
So,
yeah,
because the records are, go get the records. Yeah, the
yeah.
records, the LP.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, he did such an amazing job with the score. So, anyway, that just popped into my mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I'm just a big thank you from my heart to everyone watching.
Oh,
Thank
well,
you.
you're so welcome. Again, it's been my pleasure, and I know our audience is gonna love this whole conversation as much as I have, almost as much as
Aw,
I have, I think. Um, and
it's
and
been a
and
joy.
and thank you, again, for hanging out, for talking to us, for giving us all this insight into this movie that we all know and love and can't get enough of. And like I said, the door's always open. We'll do it again. And when you do have some of those other projects that you can't talk about yet that you can talk about, we'll have you back on and talk about
I'd
those
have
as
to kill
well.
you if I talked about it.
That's
Just
that
kidding.
that's I understand, it's when the
I'm
time's
kidding.
right. When the time's right. Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah,
bring out the Janet in you, so I won't push now. We'll do it when the
so
embargo
funny.
lifts.
It's all happening, baby. It's all happening.
I can't
But
wait.
yeah, I look forward to sitting down with you again, Matt. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it already. And of course, just to wrap up, I'm just going to wish you a very, very happy Halloween.
You as well. And be safe, have fun, and happy Halloween. Thank you.